Hi, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Rise and Shine with Ebony, Empress, and Sonia Grayson Newman. And of course, this is our little mini series, which is here to help people to understand more about how to become an entrepreneur or to be more successful in your careers and business. And Sonia's with me this morning. Hi, Sonia, how you doing?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. Good morning to everyone
Good.
out there. My camera's a little bit slow today, but I'm hoping it's gonna speed up as we go along. So how has your weekend been? Because we're just now into Tuesday. How's the weekend been for you?
For me, it was good. Family time, did some resting. I went to a natural hair show. That was really good on Saturday. Networked, met some people that I'd met online. Actually met them in person. That always great when that happens, when people recognize you and you recognize them. Say, oh, hi, yeah. We follow each other on Instagram, yeah. So that was really good. And what else has been happening? Oh, I've got nominated. I don't know if you saw my post. I've got nominated
Mm,
for The Voice
right.
newspaper, which for those who aren't in the UK, The Voice is a national newspaper, particularly for the black community. And
Yes.
I've been nominated for this award called the Most Inspirational Entrepreneur Award for 2014. So I am really chuffed
Wow.
about that. And that's in conjunction with an organisation called Reba. And the event is going to take place the sort of the end of September. So that's really, really exciting. That's really exciting.
Wow. Well, congratulations to you.
Thank
That is
you.
fantastic. And
Thank
I hope
you.
you win. I really do hope you win. It's so great to get an award, and I think winning is like just it has to happen. I know everybody says it's a taking part, but personally, I like to win. I
You
like
like
to
to
win.
win. I was quite chuffed because I've now realised, some of the other nominees in the category are people that I look up to, and to be considered
Oh,
to be in that group with those
yeah.
who I consider, my peers or people that I look up to and aspire to. I feel really honoured about that. So yes, that's really good.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. So, what are we talking
Mm.
about today?
Today,
I did say the weekend I did something that I wouldn't normally do. I went around on a red bus. Well, it was actually a blue bus, but a open top bus in London, and did the tourist thing. I kind of just went around with my family. We drove around for about 2.5 hours and looked at all the sites in London. And anybody who comes to London needs to go and do a tour bus. It's just brilliant, absolutely fantastic. Saw everything, changing of the guards, Buckingham Palace. We went to Hyde Park. We went to Harrods and all the famous spots. And I love Harvey Nichols, and we stopped in Harvey Nichols as well and saw some really great cars in the middle of London. The Lamborghini shop. It was brilliant.
oh,
Absolutely fantastic.
excellent, excellent. We said we're going to do that one year, and we haven't done it. So you've inspired me to actually make that happen. Because we do that when we go away, but we haven't actually done that in London.
Yeah, I did it in
Yeah.
Barcelona, and I
Mm,
decided that, one day I'd do it in London. And
mm.
yeah, I decided this weekend was a brilliant time to do it. The weather was so lovely. And of course, when you live in London all your life, you just think, I really don't need to see London because I know what London looks like.
Mm,
But
mm.
actually, you don't know all the history that you should know. So I
Yes,
went and did that whole tourist thing, and I learned so much, and the kids did too. It was absolutely fantastic.
yes. And something else that I'd recommend for you to do is the Black History Walks
Oh,
tours.
okay.
They are very interesting. I did one of those a few years ago, and it was amazing to know the rich history
Yeah.
of the black community in the UK, and it's going around the city of London and seeing how we've influenced the history of London. So it was really good.
Oh, gonna try that one. Definitely.
Mm, mm.
Okay, so we have a question. I put the questions and answers out today
Oh,
to ask
fantastic.
anybody what questions they may have, and interesting that we had a question from Landlord, and he said, "What is the most important thing one must do to grow their business?" So let me just tell Solar. Tomorrow I've got OP Honest on, and OP is the business coach. He is a business coach. He is going to cover that topic tomorrow. So we will have an in-depth conversation on the most important thing one must do to grow their business. Today we're really going to talk about the difference you can make in your life when you're going into business. So yeah, and so hi to Damien. Hi Damien, thank you for logging on and viewing. I got a little message in my questions there. Yeah, any question that you may have, Damien, when you're listening, we're happy to take that question. Hi to you. So, yes. Oh, he says he doesn't. I don't have sound. Okay. Well, you can write a question in, and we will take your question if you have it. All right. So, what was I going to say? I've lost my little trail there. Right. So we're going to talk about the difference you can make in your life when you're going into business. Sonia, how does that work?
Well, I've said this before on the other shows that starting a business is a real tool for your own self-development, and I don't think you can make a difference in your business and it not affect your life, and you definitely can't make a difference in your life and it doesn't affect your business. The two go hand in hand. Having a business is, as I said, is the greatest self-development tool. It's one of the, I think parenting and relationships is the other one, but it's the greatest self-development tool out there. It's one of the greatest, should I say. And I think one of the key things for you to make a difference in your life is really that decision, that initial decision that you make that you're going to change things up, that you're going to do things differently. I think that's the main thing, because you can be quite easily be in your comfort zone. You can be there doing what you've been doing for years, and then deciding that you wake up one day and say, actually, I'm going to do something different. This doesn't work for me. This isn't cutting it for me anymore. So I think that the main thing is to make that decision, is actually to say, do you know what? I'm stepping out of this comfort zone, because this comfort zone is comfortable and it's very tempting and you want to stay there. And I think to be an entrepreneur, you have to be a particular type of person. You have to have a particular type of mindset. And it's when that comfort zone is, for some people, they don't realize that comfort zone is actually uncomfortable for them.
Yeah. That is true.
Yeah.
I think you're absolutely right. We can get stuck in a comfort situation, and I think it's the thought may be, how do I stop myself from being so comfortable, or how do I stop myself from procrastinating when I know that I want to do something that will empower me to move forward. And there are a lot of people stuck in that. We're doing stuff that doesn't necessarily work. We may be doing that again and again, but getting to that reality stage where you really work it out. Am I doing something here that's going to make a difference, or am I just doing it for the sake of doing it? Yeah. And that, to me, is what happens with a lot of people that I meet who say to me, oh, actually, I am involved. I'm doing something here. I'm starting up a business. Right, okay. Well, what is actually happening? I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Well, what is actually happening? What are the results? No one, they can't really tell you. So I think there's something there where you're stuck in a kind of thinking where you want to do something, but you don't know how to get yourself actually going. So is that procrastinating, or is that just a lack of indecision, or what do you think is going on there?
I think it's a mixture.
Yeah.
I think it's a mixture. I mean, they say that procrastination is it's an aspect of fear. When you're fearful of doing something, you can actually end up procrastinating, because what you're actually doing is self-sabotaging. You're putting
Yeah.
off the things that you really need to do to push yourself out there. I mean, we talked about fear before. You know, you might have the fear of failure, the fear of success, the fear of what people will think of you, fear of rejection. You know, you sometimes think you're not good enough, and subconsciously we can carry around this fear that ends up being procrastination. So exactly what you said, we might be busy doing so many different things, but not actually doing the things that get us out there. You know, you see that all the time. People are busy. They say they're on Facebook, they're on Twitter. They're busy being busy, but they're not actually busy with producing results and producing the right results. So I think for the main thing, to make a difference in your life, you have to be clear. You have to make that decision, and that clarity will strip down what it is that you exactly want to do, how you're going to do it, by when, and also who do you need to become in order to achieve that. You know, who am I? Who is Sonia, who had to change from one mindset, from being an employee to start being an entrepreneur? You know, what did that mean? What did that mean? Did that mean for me? It meant that I had to, whilst working, have to look at what is it going to take for me to get to the next level of my business? Is it going to mean that I'm going to have to structure my time to allow myself X amount of hours a week to make this happen? You've got to have a make it happen mindset. You've got to go from being completely comfortable and having that buffer of your 9 to 5 to being one who's going to take some risks and who's going to go out and actually do what they say they're going to do. Because you can be a goal setter, but not
Yes.
necessarily a goal hitter, and that is the difference.
Right.
And that's when
So,
I work with people, because we can have goals. We all have goals, but as I say to them, a goal or a resolution is just an intention. Without the action behind it, it means nothing. It's just written down, it's on a piece of paper. And that's when you can find yourself procrastinating and running around like a headless chicken, not having any direction, not knowing what to do. So the main thing to do, yes, have those goals, have those intentions, but then have the mindset to actualize them, put action behind it, so to make it happen. You've got to have that make it happen mindset. Set yourself short targets for your big goal and say, right, by the end of this month, I want to achieve that aspect of the goal. And how are you going to get there? If you chunk it down into achievable parts and components, it's easier to achieve. And that's all part of that make it happen mindset. So in order for you to make a difference in your life, you have to realize that you can make the decision. You don't put it out there for somebody else to do it for you. You are
yeah.
the author of your own destiny, and I think a lot of us forget that. Everything that happens to us in our life is not down to, okay, other people do influence that, but you actually have the power to direct your life, to direct and create your own destiny. You're the author. You hold the pen. It's not your mama. It's not your papa. It's not your kids. It's not your employer. And it might feel like that all the time. Yeah, you might have responsibility and commitments in these areas, but at the end of the day, you have the choice. And it's when you switch on that choice and make that decision that you to do things that you want to do, then you'll start to see your life change and making that difference in those areas in your life.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. That really is so true. I think the other part of getting going in terms of making a difference will be the second half will be how do you assess what you're doing,
Mm.
whether that what you're doing is making a difference. So once you've got your goals in line, once you've worked it out what you want to do, you set those goals. The next thing would be to look at how those actions pan out.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you assess yourselves against the goals you've set? How do you know that they're actually making a difference, whatever it is you're doing? And when do you stop doing that if it's not making a difference?
Right, okay. So true, so true. Because for an entrepreneur, clarity is very important. You
Yeah,
know, it's about having, you sort of start with the end in mind, And
Yeah.
you when you set your goals and you set them with reasonable time frames, it's all part of the goal setting, time frames, what you want to see by when, then if once you start breaking it down into smaller segments, you'll see along the way if it's working. Now, your goal might be, I need to make, I need to leave my full-time job, so I need to start replacing some of that income. And you will know is, what do I need to do to start bringing that income into my business? If it's a service-based business, how many clients do I need to start bringing in that income? Okay, I need X amount of clients. Where am I going to find those clients? Okay, they're over there. How are they going to know who I am? How are they going to notice me? What is it that I do that is going to solve their problem? And then you start you start putting yourself out there and start to see in a short space of time the results of that. Are people starting to notice you? Are you getting feedback from people to say what you're doing is good? Are you starting to make sales? What is it that people want? Are you starting to meet that? I think with entrepreneurship, with your life, you kind of have to see it like a project.
Okay.
You have to look at it as a project and treat it as such. So, for example, you could always be reviewing, constantly be reviewing, every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, every month, constantly reviewing your actions, reviewing what you do. If you're on social media all the time and you say you're connecting with people, what's come of it? Have you networked with people? Have you done joint ventures? Have you, are you in the right circles? Are you able to say, right, okay, I'm actually starting to see the benefits of my labor? Because we can be busy working hard but not working smart. And
Yeah.
I think that's the main thing. You can get so caught up with this busyness, or even caught up with procrastination. I will do it someday. I mean, as far as I know, there's 7 days of the week, and someday isn't one of them. You have right now, but you don't have someday. And we put things off, waiting for this day of the week, someday, to happen. But I think the main thing is to be clear on what you want, be honest with yourself. Is this working? Always checking in on yourself. Is this working? And what do I need to do to get myself to the next level? Do I need to learn a new skill? Do I need to connect with the right people? Do I need to be in the right place at the right time?
Right.
What I'm offering, is it what people really want? Have I put it out there in a way that people are going to say, yes, that is what I want? Sometimes it just takes a tweak in your marketing, a tweak in your presentation, to really get people to understand what it is that you're doing. Is your sales pitch, your elevator pitch, is that really saying what you want to convey?
Okay.
It's all of those things. So it's really checking in on yourself and fine tuning on a regular basis. The main thing you have to have is the right mindset. Don't be scared of change. Business and life will always change, and what you've got to do is be part of that transformation as well.
Okay. So I have another question for you. And we've got about 10 minutes left. And I just wanted to, in the last 10 minutes, talk about measuring results. After you've done all that work, how do you measure the results of the goals that you've set? How do you measure that? Because I think we do a lot of work,
Mm.
um, but at the end of the day, if it's not resulting in what you want, how do you measure that? How do you measure the results so you can think, well, do I keep doing this or do I give it up? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes you need that reality moment where you go, right, is this working? If it's not working, maybe I need to do something else. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
I need not to do this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you measure the results of what you've done up to this point once you set your goals?
I think if your goals are clear,
Yeah,
you should be able to measure what your results are. I think is
right.
when we don't have clear goals, clear direction about what it is we want to achieve, then you're all over the place. You don't know whether you're hitting the goals, you don't know if you're going in the right direction. You know, you might be strong in one area and weak in another area. You know, having created a goal, you should be able to see whether or not you're hitting them, and the results should speak for themselves. You know, with business, it's mainly about income, it's about exposure, it's about getting clients, it's people getting to know who you are. If people aren't knowing who you are, then you've got to change that. You know, exactly as you said, how do you know whether or not you need to change your strategy? Because we could be doing something and all it takes is a little tweak to make it successful. We could be doing something for a very long time, but it's not working, all because, you know, we just need a little tweak. Again, you have to spend a lot of time as an entrepreneur really assessing where you are now and what is it you want to do. I can't say that, you know, enough. You're going to have those days where you're going to have the stinking feeling coming in, the stinking thinking, where you think I'm not good enough, where you think this isn't working. But you have to keep going back and tweaking and looking and assessing where it is that you're at. And one of those things is measuring your results. You know what those results will be. You know what your goal is. You know what it is that you want to achieve. Are you achieving it? Yes, great. No, then you need to do something about that.
Okay, absolutely. That is so useful to hear, because I think people do get stuck in a rut when they're doing their goals, and you can start deluding yourself that actually stuff is happening when it really isn't happening. So I thank you for that. I think what would be good for people to hear are some quick steps to setting goals, some goal setting steps. Do you have any of those?
Of course. For goal, I can't hear you.
Oh.
Okay, you're back. Yes, for goal setting, the goal setting is a wide remit, and you can go on forever. You've got your SMART goals, you've got, you know, different types of goals, but the main thing is you have to know exactly what it is that you want. And I think that is, to be clear, you have to know the what, the why, the when, and the how. Now, you may not know the how straight away, but you've got to know the why. You know, why are you doing something? You've got to know, so you've got to be clear on the why. You've got to be clear on the what. Exactly what is it that you want? And you can't measure results if you don't know what you're measuring.
Absolutely.
All right, so you've got to know the what. You've got to know the when. When do you want this? Again, in order to stop procrastination, in order to be cleared, in order to know when you want to be doing hitting certain milestones within your goal, you have to know when you want to achieve it.
Okay.
So that's the why, the what, the when, and then you've got the how.
Right.
The how is what you learn once you've got all of those other three in place, and you may have the know-how straight away, but you don't have to have that, and that you can pick up as you go. Okay. Yeah. And that's part of the learning. All of these, all four of them are part of the learning. But the how, sometimes we have the first three in place, but because we don't know the how, we give up or we get stuck, and we give up and we think, oh, I can't do this, because we don't know that, we don't have the how. But the how you can learn. You can get a coach, you can research online, you can get a mentor, you can join mastermind groups. And it was interesting listening to Janice. I listened to her hang out with you, and she was right on point, where she was excellent. I mean, I love Janice's work. And one of the things that she said was, you can spend all of this time and all of this money going off to these huge masterminds, and they're great for inspiration and feeling empowered and motivated. And I totally agree with her. But one of the things that you need to do is sustain that, and you might need the one-on-one help, and that's
Yes.
so important. And I say this to people all the time. Going to events, and these things are great to get inspiration and get the hit and get you all fired up, but it's the empowerment and the transformation is
Yeah.
the main thing that's going to take you to where you want to go. So the main things are the why, the when, and the what, and then
Okay.
you've got the how. Okay, so the how you can learn afterwards. The how, but those are the main four things that for goal setting you need to have in place. So you need to look at how you're going to do it, and as I said, it's about changing the mindset. It's about changing the mindset of how you've been doing things up until now. I mean, Albert Einstein, he says I always refer to this quote, and I hope I get it right, but it's like, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And that to me is key. You've always got to be switching things and changing how we do things, because the mindset that got us in the problem isn't the mindset that's going to take us out of the problem. It's a different type of thinking. So as an entrepreneur, you're always changing up your thinking. You've got to make sure that you engulf yourself in inspirational material. Read books like Napoleon Hill's Think and Go Rich, Wallace Wattles The Science of Getting Rich. There's loads of books out there, because what you have to do, you have to change the person who's used to being an employee to being an entrepreneur. And that is a mindset shift, because it's not, as an entrepreneur, you don't have the same securities necessarily that you have when you're in a full-time job. In your full-time job, you might have goals that you have to hit. You might have goals that you have to hit. You might have time frames, but you've got that support and that network from your colleagues and from your employer, from your boss, from your manager. As an entrepreneur, you don't necessarily have that. You don't have anybody there checking in on you saying, okay, you need to move things up to the next level, unless you create that for yourself. And you create that by either, having a mentor or having a coach or having that infrastructure. Surround yourself even with, like-minded people who are entrepreneurial as well. Surround yourself with that. That's totally right. Let me see. I've got some notes here that I wrote down, because I wanted to make sure that I covered some things. So I said, start with a decision, be clear. You have to know what it's going to take as well. Really be clear in your mind. What's it going to take? It's going to take you shifting things in your life to accommodate you starting your business and really working through it. So it might mean you're going to have to stop, the things that you do in an evening, stop watching EastEnders every day of the week, because that's not going to get you to where you need to go when you've got stuff to do. You might need to get up an hour earlier in the morning to do some of this work. If you're going off to do your job, it's about being structured. Even as an entrepreneur, even if you're working full-time in your business, you have to have a structure. You have to know what you should be doing and when you need to be doing it by. So structure even your days. Have a list of things that you need to do in that day, and just work through it. Books, I've mentioned that before. Changing your mindset. There's loads of things on YouTube. There's loads of things on, the internet has a wealth of information out there for entrepreneurs. There's things, audio books that you can listen to while you go about your day. Make sure that you have a support system in place. You have to really want it. That's so key for me. If you don't want it, and if you're kind of on the fence about things, then you're going to get distracted and you're going to go off doing other things. Yep, goal setter, be a goal hitter. And to become that person, it's really about making your difference in your business, is you becoming the person that is successful. It's about you having the structure. It's about you having even a daily practice that you get up in the morning. I'm a great believer of writing your goals down and looking at them on a regular basis. My husband, for example, he's written down his goals, and he reads them every morning and every night without fail. and that
Wow.
keeps him focused.
Yes.
You know? And yeah, he reads them. He has vision boards. You know, he has what we call a clear, concise mental picture and also visuals of what he wants to achieve in life. And he reads that twice a day, you know, and he's very driven and he achieves what he wants to achieve. And I think that's one of the main things that keeps him going with his goals, is that he's got this constant reminder. It's through his day. He's got this constant reminder. So do things like that. Have your vision board, have something on your phone, read
Yes.
affirmations, you know, that's it. I know we've running out of time, but those are the things that you're going to get sidetracked. You're going to get, you know, you're going to procrastinate. But have a structure and reward yourself as you hit different milestones. Reward yourself. Maybe do something small to celebrate, or do something big to celebrate. I really do believe in that.
Absolutely, I agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. And let me just say hi to Satendra, who's saying hello to us on our question.
Hi. Hi.
So hi to you. Good morning, and to everybody who's listening out there. Thank you so much for joining us today. Sonia, you've been brilliant. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
I know there's stuff there that, you know, I learned myself, and I think that whole thing about being focused, being really focused on what it is that you want, having that vision board, I think that's really important. You know, I think I keep my vision board on my phone because I look at my phone more than anything else most of the time. So like, it's a good thing to have it, you know, where you can see it and to remind yourself of the things that you say that you will do in life, the things that you want to achieve. What is it that you are working towards? What is it that you want to deliver to the world out there? So, you know, have it in front of you. Remind yourself constantly of what that is, and I think you'll get there. We absolutely will get there. Okay, that's it. I think we're out of time. We actually are about 4 minutes over, so we've given more than value this morning. We've gone way over time, so that's going to be a good thing. We are back tomorrow morning, everyone, on Rise and Shine. We are back at 6:30 in the morning. I've got OP Honest with me. Of course, we're coming from the UK for those people who are in other parts of the world. Join us tomorrow morning. We're going to talk about growing your business. And I know that Janice started that conversation when she was on last week about how to create and grow your business. But Opie's going to talk a bit more about that. We're going to have a great conversation tomorrow morning. I'm so excited about this series. It's going so well. I think we've come to kind of the end of your bit, though.
Yes.
Sonia, because you've done like 4 weeks with me.
I have.
How's it been?
It's been fun. It's been fun. It really has. I've really enjoyed it. This is what I love to do, and it's been really good. I love technology for when it works. I love technology. I love the fact that we're broadcasting across the world. I love that we're able to, you know, help and inspire people and motivate people. And this is what I love doing. I love sharing information. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. So thank you very much. I think it's a great concept.
Oh, I hope we're going to repeat it. We're going to have a look at where we go from here, because I've just enjoyed doing it, and everybody who's come on and taken part, it's been just such good learning for me. So, you know, I'm going to look at you with you guys. I'm going to try and entice you to do some more, definitely. But it's been fun for me, and I hope those people out there who are moving into a new direction in their lives, or maybe just considering a career change or getting into business, you know, that go back and listen to the broadcasts that we've been doing over the past 4 weeks, and you will learn so much from the stuff we put out. All the stuff is on my Google Hangout page. You can, if you go to my profile, you will find them. Sonia, just tell people where they can find you if they want to connect with you.
Yes, certainly. Okay, you can catch me at www.brightnowcoaching.com, and yeah, you can catch me there. I'm quite active on social media, so come and say hi. On my website that I just gave, if you join my community, tips and tools and things get sent out to those in my community on a regular basis of how they can get unstuck and move forward. And I also have a weekly radio show, and if you join me on my website. You'll get the details on that, and it'd be lovely to have you over there. So yeah, that's where you can find me.
Okay. And anybody who wants to follow all my shows, of course, I'm on Blog Talk Radio tonight having a conversation about how women get themselves ready for dating. And I have someone in with me, Dominique, who's written a book about that. So we're on tonight at 5 p.m. Eastern if you're in the US, and that's 2 p.m. Central. Sorry, 4 p.m. Central and 2 p.m. Pacific. Oh Lord, I gotta remember the times. And that's 10 p.m. in the UK. So join me on www.blogtalkradio/Ebony Empress if you want to check me out. If you want to know where all my shows are, go to www.ebonyempresstv.com. Okay, that's us for today. See you tomorrow morning, guys. Have a wonderful day. Top of the morning to you, and thank you, Sonia.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Take care.
So much.
Have a wonderful day.
Same to you. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful week, and I will see you again real soon. Take care, everyone. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.